because these two are insignias. They are scion heirs for what I'm going to show you. Hello everyone, I'm Naomi, and boy do I have something to show you that you've never heard of before. And when I get done, if there's anyone that wants more, there's going to be a price, because what I have learned has been from someone else. And it was 37 years of study, and it took me 2 years to learn it, and I'm still learning it. Because you know what, when you hear this, all you'll want to do is you'll want to deny it and try and disprove it. And I can't. I've been trying for 2 years. I can't disprove it. Everything matches the end times. Everything matches what the Bible says. And we've been lied to. We've been lied to in movies. We've been lied to in television. We've been lied to in fantasy. And don't forget, the word says that Satan will steal the kingdom through intrigue. And that is fantasy, and that's these movies he's putting out. Let's take some movies. Okay, let's take Legend of the Guardian. Well, owls, everybody knows owls was used for a cult. Why wasn't it eagles? What about Eagle Eye? Golden Compass with a girl with a lyre on her arm. What about Kings and Queens? Narnia, For Trump Michael. The movie that just came out talks about someone looking for his golden emblem to restore his family line. And his name is Ezekiel. Now, I'm going to get back to telling you why these things are strange to me, and I'm going to connect them for you. There's Prince of Persia, where he had the Sword of Time to go back so that they could restore time. There is Sorcerer's Apprentice, the Iron Man. There is Legion, where Michael comes down, cuts off his wings, and fights Gabriel, the angel. Angel. There's the watchmen, the watchers. There's knowing, where two people are released into the tree of life. There's your King's Speech. They just come out with King's Speech. But a lot of the movies that are coming out all have to do with this special union, which I'm going to show you right now. When God created the universe, He created a circle of houses that we call astrology, that we've been taught not to study. But yet our enemy and his followers on this earth, Study them. That's why they're able to make these movies, which I'm going to show you the connection in a little bit. What I really want to point to, here's God. And then you have Draco on the other side. The serpent. And then you have Ezekiel and Lyra. You have a swan. We just had a movie, Black Swan, didn't we? So, anyway, the reason why I want to bring up Ezekiel and Lyra, you're probably thinking, where did this woman come up with this? Well, Ezekiel and Lyra is, the lyre for King David was what he played to God. The lyre is also in Jewish Omega, for Alpha and Omega. There was even a cartoon last year called Alpha and Omega. So there's the Omega, and then A for Alpha. A is Aleph, and champion is what it means. Omega is B. Bet. So that's A, B, alphabet. So what do you think that's a key to? That's a key to the language. Not only did God create the universe, he also created the languages. So the languages are the key, and the larynx, the voice, the lyrics is the key. So when God spoke the world into existence, voice and these keys of the alphabet and language are important. Have you noticed how everything's by email and voicemail, automatic voicemail whenever you call anyone? They're trying to get rid of the power of language. They're trying to change the meaning of words because everything has a metathesis. There's a metathesis of words. Like you have Aquila, the eagle. You can have, I'm trying to think of a metathesis of words now. Oh, raptor. A raptor is also the last name for porter, which is a gatekeeper, which I'll get back to that. Just hold on to that, gatekeeper. Very important for you to know. Okay, porter, gatekeeper. Port side of a ship. Port, gate, opening. Very important. But the raptor is a bird, and then you'll see that the bird is the eagle, which I seem to have lost, but it's a golden eagle picture.
But Meshicho, and Meshicho comes from the word Mashiach.
The golden eagle. There's so much information here that I have to go back again and do another full circle for you, okay?
The remnant of Israel will not do any wrong, and they will not speak lies, nor shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth.
Or the very next verse it says, and my servant David and shall be king over them. So we know that this is a clear messianic prophecy, unlike other prophecies that other people purport to be messianic, where there's no mention of David or the root of David or the branch of David or anything like that. This is very clearly a messianic prophecy.
That no one's going to have to teach this. You're not going to need rabbis. You're not going to need any kind of teachers, because now you will know. Now it's a matter of what are you going to do about it.
And that's where Mexico got its name from, which is a fascinating thing.
And I'm telling the whole world, if you want to be free under that golden eagle, you find the name that matches that golden eagle. And I know it's Mexico.
All right, so we have God speaking the world into existence. He created these houses. He created these insignias, ensigns. Okay? And he also, King David was his most favored of kings, and Solomon, and he worshipped God with the lyre. And if you ever read Chronicles and Kings, you'll see what a renowned man David was. that God blessed him and had his son build the temple. So these are very important. Now let me show you the comparison of what our world, Satan, who is the prince of the power of the air, has done in our governments and other countries. And maybe some of them are innocent. I don't know, because if one is famous for having an eagle and using the eagle because of its character, someone else may just copy and have an eagle too. But because God ordained 2 cherubim, male and female, the only images you were allowed to have, when he said you shall have no images on earth or in heaven or of animals or anything, but yet they were able, and the Israelites were able to make an image of 2 angels that are gold, then there's a reason for only these 2. Because these 2 are insignias. They are scion heirs for what I'm going to show you when I get done with my speech. All right, let's look at our government. Okay, here you have the golden eagle called Lyra, and she has the lyre. Here you have our dollar bill. Let's go to this one. It's upside down though. We have our dollar bill with also the same shape as a lyre on its chest, but a badge. See how it matches? This is witchcraft. Our money is witchcraft and idolatry. But yet these insignias are actually of Israel and God's insignias, but they've been twisted and used for the wrong reason. And that's where Satan has gotten his power, through the money and through control, is through money. They have got us in prison. Even Russell Meeks for the Indians says, welcome to the reservation, America, because we are in prison to the dollar bill. You can't even talk to people about this study because they're watching TV, they're entertained, their ears are tickled. It says in the end times people would rather have their ears tickled than to hear the truth. When you try and tell someone the truth about our dollar bill or the truth about our government or other governments and what's happening in the end times, they're totally oblivious, or they deny it, because you know what, when you tell them the truth, they feel intimidated, they feel embarrassed because they don't know, or they're just totally hypnotized that they can't take it in. So the dollar bill is actually idolatry because they have dead presidents on it. How can that suffice us to have dead presidents on our money? We should have life. This should be, and it should be equal to everybody. It should not be controlled. We don't even have our own water rights. They've even taken our eminent domain for buying a house. That's what it says in the end times. That's what it said in Jesus. That's what it says in Daniel, that they want to imprison us. They want to take our freedom. Now they can control us. And now you're watching that TV. They have a signal going in your house. You've got a cell phone carried with you everywhere. You've got the computer on all the time. They know who's in here. They know what's going on.
What do the seals really mean? What are they supposed to mean?
The seals mean that God has 2 human heirs for the end times, and Satan knows it because he's human. He's going to be human when he stands. He's a fallen angel. He's on the earth. He has other people doing his bidding and work. And so there's going to be a human that has to take human steps too to come to be known to get the temple built in Israel. They wouldn't see him unless he was human. So they had to hide themselves being human. You just know there's something special about them. So anyway, so no. Sarah would not have laughed if there was two men talking to Abraham that had wings on them. She wouldn't have laughed. She would have been bowing. I would have, wouldn't you? If you would have had your husband out there and two men with angels that she saw and heard the talking, then would you have laughed about being told you're going to have a son in your old age? I don't think so, because they would have been angels sent from God, and you would have known it if they were out of character. Same as Sodom and Gomorrah, when those two angels came into Lot's home. They wanted to know them, the sinful men of the city wanted to know them. I don't think they would have done that if they were angels, because they would have had such a heavenly glow, and they would have been big wings, and they wouldn't have been normal. I just don't think that would happen. And there's more things too. What about the angel that wrestled Jacob? I remember my friend used to say, yeah, there's probably feathers everywhere. You know, there's not. There's not. He was a man. Even all the stories about some of the prophets, even in Revelation, where an angel comes to him and he bows down and says, no, don't do that. You know, it doesn't say the angels have wings. It doesn't. So you need to wake up, people, and come out of fantasy land that they built for us. Angels are human. And when Michael comes, he's supposed to put Satan in the pit. But meanwhile, when you read the Bible, when you find the little things, you look at these. Because after I was told this, I started searching the Word. And every time I would read something, I go, wow, God, that's right. That's right. And, not only do you need to read the Word, you need to read your dictionary. If you find something you don't understand, like I found something last night in Jeremiah about scroll. You know, I want to look up scroll in the dictionary and scroll in the concordance, and then whatever goes with scroll. You know, you have to connect the words and find the metathesis, and you're going to see that God's talking to you. So, anyway, to get back to where I was, we were talking about the angels being human. There are two human heirs that are on the earth that are supposed to stand and be here for the end times. And God ordained it. Solomon hid it. He hid it. He knew that kingdoms could be stolen because his was almost stolen, his right. And so he knew, and he hid it. He traveled all over the world, and he took and look at the map of California. We have Kings Highway. We have Princess Park. We have Kings Canyon National Park. We have Mexico called Mexico, which stands for Mashiach. Even people in Mexico don't even know what that means. But thanks to Mariana of Astrotheology Radio, she had someone on there that told us. Mashiach, it's Mashiach. And we've also been lied to that Columbus discovered America. But also, is the Phoenicians. There's proof of what they've done and their things, their pottery, their writings on stones, and not Columbus. Why would we lie to? Since school! It's another thing. We don't know where we're from. We forget that Noah only had his three sons. He only had those three to continue the family line. But yeah, we forget what tribe we're from. We don't understand the meaning of our names. You know, even though our parents named us because they thought the name was cute or they liked it, God knows your name. He knows everything about you. Read Psalm 139. Before you were knit in your mother's womb, He knew you. He knew you. Before the foundations of the earth were made, God knew you. He knows your name. He knows what it means. You have a purpose on this earth. God doesn't make anyone to not have purpose. In the study of the female, for White Castle, this is this book that they talk about the protocols of the Wives of Von Zion. This was during the Holocaust. This is a book that they went by. But if you get down to a real study about the meaning of the names for White Castle, Camp David, Castle Dweller, we have a White House. See, the thing with the Holocaust, it wasn't what they say they were doing. They were actually trying to take out the line of the princess, the last princess. princess of Israel, because she's from this line. And they know it. So see, once again, we're not supposed to look at the stars. We're not supposed to know anything. They knew it. They knew about names, and they know right now that Michael's here. Because you know what they did? They did the attack on the three-class name that would describe Michael, who's like God, famous warrior, and port keeper. Remember port keeper, because I'm going to go back to that. So with that name, what they did is they attacked Mexico, Louisiana, with a Gulf oil spill, and the Porto Grande. So there's Michael, Louis, Port. There's the three-class name. Now, when they attacked him, what they were doing is the followers, mainly British Petroleum, of Satan, they were making a sacrifice to Satan by killing people, causing the waters to be poisoned, and also making sure Michael knows that they were attacking him. Port-au-Prince is another one. Before that, there was the Haiti earthquake, which is Port-au-Prince. Oh, guess what else? There was all those birds that fell. Guess where they were at? BB, Arkansas. Ark for archetype, archangel. BB because Omega is B, the letter B, bet of the alphabet. Remember what we said? So you had that, and because the Michael that I know of, that is the human prince, is a drummer, the fish that were killed around that same time were drumfish. So that's another sacrifice they made, and through harp, whatever you want to say, you know, through music, harp, they call it harp, through music. They are twisting so many things with witchcraft and electronics. Here it says, both the eagle and the serpent fall to the American continent in accordance with the pyramidal alignment of the zodiac. The continent is covered with serpent mounds and the legends of Sagittarius, the arrow bearer, Lyra, the 13-string harp of the constellations. This is from our Seal of History. So, by Totten. So when they made that book on the Seal of History, they knew about these stars and where they were. Okay, the Seal of History. See the aerial of both continents? This is actually twisted. Here's Omega for B, for Lear, and here's Alpha for Aquila. Alpha and Omega, first and last, first and last. That's our Seal of History, people. That's the people running our government. That's the people telling us what's what and who's who, what we should believe in, what we shouldn't. This, you guys, is going to just blow your mind away. If you really study your Bible and you go to the dictionary, you'll see these meanings. I was walking with my friend, and there was a Copenhagen can at my feet. Like, it was almost like God put it there on purpose, miraculously. Because there's nothing, when I walk, I'm always watching what I'm going to step in. So there was no can ahead of me as I walked, and then as soon as I got up to it, there it was. And this Copenhagen can, while we were in Solvang, where they were having a Danish festival for Daniel, which Daniel talks a lot about Michael, I heard about Copenhagen. And then we get in the car to go home, and they're talking about the summit in Copenhagen. And I was saying, I just walked through an axiom. But God was showing me that I told you I kept trying to disprove this, and God would have things happen in my steps, in my life, that I would have an axiom to prove that God was talking to me and bringing me in this. So I found out about the Copenhagen Summit, looked it up, and it says La Aquila, and then my friend had the flyer and showed me that this turtle shell means music, by the way, which God is music. His word is music when he speaks. Don't forget I told you that. The golden means of music. This isn't the golden means, but this is what we use for our musical symbol. Although the shell kind of looks like it, huh? Bigger and going up. So music does arise. It lifts up. Music like rap does not lift you up. What it does is it puts this beat in your heart and it keeps you down, keeps you controlled. Speaking of music, I got another thing to show you. Just like the 1971 song list, the 1971 song list is the birth year of the princess of Israel. It doesn't know, but all of these songs talk about the one-man band, the drum. I play and sing. I likes to do it. A natural man, free, where you lead, the beginning of the end, Indian reservation, me and my arrow, Eagle Rock, Starry, Starry Night. I mean, all these songs point to the lifestyle and the character of these two ensigns, Aquila and Lyra. Lyra and, where's Aquila? Aquila and Lyra. So you have Brand New Key, Soul Power. Oh, how about Superstar? It was three times Superstar came out by the Carpenters, Murray Head, and the Temptations. I'd love to change the world. We can change the world. Give more power to the people. American Trilogy. One maybe tomorrow. Love Lines, Angles, and Rhymes. Anyway, so a song list in 1971 is a Unicode. A Unicode, and also songs that were written. I mean, people are owned. When you sign to be an actress and a musician, you've signed your life to them. It's your signature. It's your sign nature. You're giving away your life. Be careful out there of what you sign to. So we got onto the music and the recap where we were. We're on the music, the golden means, the shells. The turtle shell represents music. This was La Aquila. Come on. What's the coincidence of this being in La Aquila in Italy? La Aquila, Italy. Italy is where the Prince of Israel has come from, in Calabria, which, get this, is the heel of the boot of Italy. Weren't we told that he would bruise his heel? In fact, there's even an injury that's been done to the prince, where his heel has been bruised and has destroyed the ligaments in his calf. It's amazing. There's been lots of things, axiom parallels that has happened to this person would amaze you. He was given the sword, a sword from Israel. This man came up to him out of nowhere and gave him a sword, said, "What's your name?" And he was playing music, and he gave him the sword from Israel from 1960. And And he still has it to this day. That is his axiom parallel. And he didn't even believe in this stuff then. He didn't believe in any of this. He denied it. But so much has happened in his life that God has bringing him into knowing who he is and what his purpose is. And I'll tell you what about this man. He has a trumpet. He has a trumpet. He has a voice that has to keep speaking and has to keep telling. Kind of like I was reading in Jeremiah last night. You know, even though he was being attacked by the people that didn't want to hear him prophesy judgment, he still had it burning like fire in his heart. He had to keep saying. He had to keep prophesying. It's the same as with Michael. He's predicted things. They've come true. He's had people come up and talk to him, and he knows he can discern hearts. And he also has a mind of measurement. He doesn't do anything without balance. And it talks about the man with the measuring rod. The man with a measuring rod and a linen garment, that he goes through the temple with a rod and measures. This man that I know, that I believe is the Prince of Israel, he measures and balances everything. He can't do anything without balance or without thinking it through. He he has such a great heart for people. He loves people. He has played for 42 years. And nobody can play like him. Nobody can play invisible templates of music to match exactly as the artist. And not only that, to have the voice and singers that match. I've heard him that match Barry Manilow, Karen Carpenter, Frank Sinatra, the Eagles, Chicago, Jim Croce, Joe Cocker. His voice is amazing. And God did that because of his voice. And he has this princess here. Has her voice matches, but the devil came in and practiced witchcraft on her. Minister to the prince, because he was so devastated when he was told that was his, but the wrong kind of stars. Anyway, hopefully that would be broken, because she's supposed to be where she's supposed to be. Look at the insignia of our California. This is supposed to be Michael. But instead, they're using a Roman soldier. Isn't that the Romans that persecute God's people?
Wait a minute, I think you just figured out a whole puzzle, because you see, the Jewish people have always said you will find Mashiach at the gates of Rome. When we analyze the lexicography to the gatekeeper of the family of Aaron in the perpetual line, we see right there somebody has crisscrossed something that was preordained in the Old Testament. That one it can't be done. You can't break that. The Jewish people looking for the Roman gatekeeper and then practicing witchcraft on it proves right there.
Yeah. Look at that. That looks like a demon right there on that shield.
That's a double-horned angel if I ever saw one.
So I'm not whistling Dixie here, but I've had some experience through my Father God, to where I know about occult, I know about spiritual things, I know about the governments of God, and I've had visions, and I've seen things in the Spirit. When I intercede, God has shown me things. I've seen things. I know I have authority in God's name. I know He's ordained me to be here and to teach you. And I hope that you listen. I hope that you listen with your heart. This is the most important thing. It's like I said, are you displeasing God watching that TV show? Are you displeasing God taking your children to the movies? Are you displeasing God by using electronic systems instead of talking to people face to face? Yeah, but
and they would never put witchcraft in our... They would never do that.
Yes, they would. The wilder you are, the more distinct you are. But that isn't it, everybody. It's what's in the heart. It's not what you do on the outside. God says He judges the heart.
somebody's walking in somebody else's heraldry false, which is the fulfillment of Daniel 11:21, and it's provable to each and every human being on the face of the earth.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, even portent, porter, portofino, just all kinds of names for port, but it all means gate. It all means an opening. It all means a beginning, an opening. So the gatekeeper is the gatekeeper, like the portal. Something's going on. And you know what, people? Because of television, and because we're asleep, because we go to movies and we're being lied to and have fantasy, we're not awake to this. We're not awake to this. We're not awake. We're not awake.
Not at all. Because these symbols have been through all of history.
That's right. We've allowed it.
And we've also allowed ourselves to come to a conclusion that there is either no prince and king and queen of Israel, which Israel's looking for, and America can't hear that, because once America hears that, the jig is up for whatever story doesn't match Alpha and Omega.
Because they're looking for Jesus to come and do all this. Because I believed in Jesus,
but doesn't Jesus mean
ISIS.
Christos?
No, Christos.
It doesn't, but I heard that Jesus meant Christ.
But it says when the Son
for
of Man
40
comes.
years.
It says when the Son of Man comes in Daniel.
Meshicho. And Meshicho comes from the word Mashiach.
Actually, the revolutions of the earth and the sun and the moon have actually all lined up in Aquila, and that's why everybody's pointing everybody at everywhere for the next 100 years, because the lineups have already happened for the coronation, which is why the emblems, why the movies, why the song list. We can go on and on. You're brilliant, Naomi. Good job. How did you do this? That's amazing. Because I looked in the dictionary, and everything you're showing me is actually more real than the people's names that are standing around me, because they don't even know the meaning of their name.
Yeah. It's witchcraft. That everything's all right. That you need to have a new shampoo to be beautiful. That you have to, everything. It's a whole witchcraft. And some of those commercials are absolutely immoral. They're immoral if you really look at it.
They're stupefying.
Yeah, because they are liars.
So
they hide everything.
Just give me just a couple movies that match, so you can prove to every one of us, because you're telling me that that's Aquila and the bee, and I tell you I've never seen that in movies.
That's a movie. They use the name.
Are you lying to me, or are you telling me the truth?
No, there's a movie that was on television I saw last year called Aquila and the Bee, but it was a girl.
That sounds like a spell to me then.
Wait, listen. Aquila and the Bee was about a spelling bee and a girl winning the spelling bee. And her name was spelled A-K-E-E-L-A-H, or L-A. And B. So they were using words, alphabet.
It's a clear quiz.
And the name Aquila and Bee. And there was Aquila and the Bee. There was the movie Michael, where he comes down as a human angel and he lives with an older woman, and he's just totally, he's filthy though. He smokes, he drank beer. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. He's called Po, which is the same thing the princess called me.
Do you have any proof of that?
I can have witnesses.
How long of witnesses do you have that person that matches that name has?
Probably for 40 years of witnesses. And he meets up with her again. As her actressing failed, and he still had love for her, but he was poor. He had no job. It was everything that matches these two.
Because if they didn't want that Bible here in the measure that it is, because some things are there, some things are not, that's what's allowing them to do these movies. So we need to bring the correct measure back to those scion heirs. And then God Almighty will move. And that's pretty good because we got 6 billion people out there. I don't think they can disprove your case.
Well, look at, oh, I forgot about this one. But isn't it interesting after they attacked the Gulf of Mexico? Remember I told you how they attacked his name? Who's that God's famous war and portkeeper? Right after they attacked it, they came out with the movie Prince of Persia. You know what they're saying? And they were making a statement, they were making a claim that Prince of Persia was back up on top and because they attacked Michael spiritually. And with the people, so that was them trying to make a claim, just like they tried to make a claim here.
It has to be. Now I see what you're saying, because if it wasn't, these people here would be telling us, hey, how about that movie, The Eagle? How about that accident in Mexico? How about that problem in Puerto Grande? How about that problem in Louisiana with the saints? So the fact that we didn't hear anything that they matched, the Christ Church, the Port-au-Prince, which all means that, which proves that they are walking behind this emblem and an emblem in heraldry that belongs to a human being, because that's what these people have been doing for 6,000 years. So it sounds like to me that they're hiding the true heirs. Of the codexes that they've been presiding over.
The thing is, I don't think so much that they're hiding it, but they're also trying, it says, Satan will steal the kingdom by intrigue, which is fantasy. They've got everybody fantasizing that that it's not real. So when it does come, from what I'm telling you, when this Michael stands in Daniel 12:1, people are going to believe he's the Antichrist instead of the one that was to come to build the temple and to establish God's kingdom instead of these stupid nations.
I would love to see all of our leaders open that. And after they open that, they can tell us what they're telling us is the truth.
They can't open the Ark of the Covenant, and I think that's what's holding Satan's hand back.
That's right.
He's getting everything ready. He's getting everybody ready and everybody confused. But he can't open that.
He can't even do it like
Obama can't open that. The only way, I'm wondering if it can only be opened. No, it can't be opened.
It has to be entitled.
It has to be entitled.
It's property, because everybody's taking property from everybody else. But this one can never be taken because God placed it right there, which usurps any story on the face of the earth except for the Torah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And not only that, talking about Torah, here's an axiom for my friend Michael. Shumash means Torah. And before he knew about all this, and God just started to show him all this, he was playing there and was named out of 40 bands the best band, and he was called the Eagle, and they used the golden eagle as their emblem on their casino, Shumash Casino. And he has a letter of recommendation here that he was named the Eagle.